Hi, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a little video on relationship red flags. I hope you have the brain power to get through this video because I've literally just done two and I was like, let's just pump them out, got all these ideas. Red flags. I think you do, as a little disclaimer, have to go through life at your own rate. There's never a wrong route to life. All our mistakes make us the person we are. Learning and evolving through them, I'm going to share my journey and what I have learned in my life, and what has made me the person I am through my life. So, relationship red flags. If obviously you feel that someone is not being loyal, if you feel that a woman's intuition is strong. I have definitely not been in tune with my intuition in the past, for various things, but also your intuitiveness is strong with people, and sometimes you can want to like a person so much that you completely disregard your intuition and you think, nah, I'm just being paranoid, or you let them trick you into your being paranoid. Always trust your intuition, but sometimes you do have to get to know someone in order to you might enjoy someone even if something goes away from your intuition in the first place. I do think your intuition can lie sometimes if you have like trauma and stuff. You can not realise that you're using a small thing in order to completely distance yourself from someone that could have a good relationship with you. But it's really what you think is right. But I think at some point your intuition does come back and let you know, like, okay, like, think about this. Has this been something that you want to go through? I think it's also important to realise warning signs early on in order to not get yourself too deep in a situation. Sometimes you do, in my experience, have to get too deep in order to realise you've gone too deep and to avoid getting that deep in the future. And that's just something that we all have to go through sometimes. Sometimes you can be smart and have discernment against these things early on, and you don't have to go through all of that stuff. But yeah, it just really depends. So yeah, that's what it is. Another red flag, if they're not seeing you as often as you used to, how the communication is in terms of whether you text each other or you text them and they don't respond very much. Or I definitely had this in the past where I was like, I was trying to rebound, I was rebounding from a relationship and I was like texting this guy, like not really realising that he wasn't really that keen, but I just was texting him loads because I thought he was attractive. He was like bigging me up. He was a bit of a player, it seems, but literally I was just like, oh, okay, he likes me, blah blah blah. I'd never really experienced that before, and I hadn't, but like literally, I literally was just like was talking to him, and he just eventually was like, hey, like, I'm glad that we met up, but like I'm just gonna stay single for a while. And he had to like literally say it to me in black and white because I really wasn't getting the hint. Like, I was messaging him and he would message me back a bit, but nothing like massive. So yeah, that was fun, and also not a good sign. How secure you feel, do you feel jealous around their friends and people that he hangs around with, is in threatened? Like, I feel like being from a relationship standpoint, like, do you like their friends? Do their friends have good morals or like similar morals to you? Like, I'm not saying like everyone has to have like the best morals ever, like everyone lives in a different way, obviously. These are my experiences. Like, is someone's friends someone like, because often you're like a representative of your 5 closest friends apparently, or just like you get a lot of stuff from them, and it's just whether you keep an eye on their friends. Like, do you feel jealous of another friend of theirs, or like people that you're around? Like, I do think this just is different for everyone, but I do think like it is and it isn't. Like, people go through different stages of life. Females go through different stages and males go through different stages, and if you're not feeling comfortable with them at the point that they are literally, if you think that if you're getting jealous of them at early stages, it probably means that they're not in the place for a committed relationship, or they're not feeling particularly satiated by you as a person. both of which are something to keep very much in mind and to pay attention to, because none of us ever really always relate to, we never all take notice of all red flags, let's be honest. But that's why I make this video. What else is another red flag? Whether someone's being really mean to you and it's actually affecting your health or like your self-esteem, or whether their family members do that. How they interact with their friends and family is also another important thing, because people do have different love languages. There's a lot of complicated situations that can exist within friends and family, and you have to be aware of that and try, though you might, to keep distance from that. You will inevitably become entangled in some way or another a lot of the time if you are around that for so long. And it's also important to realise that, like, is that something that you want to get involved with? Probably. If, like, I'm not saying like break up with like your dream person because they've got a bad family environment or what's perceived to be a toxic family environment from you, but it's also important to be mindful of baggage. I'm not saying all like baggage. It is important to be mindful of people's baggage, because it might mean they're not emotionally available. There we go. Be mindful of like whether you have good conversation that doesn't just involve chemistry. Is something that's really important to me, because like you can have really good chemistry with someone but not like actually get on with them very well as a person, and that's just unfortunately like the way that some people move through life. Like, you can't always have like good chemistry, you can't always like get on with every single person, like you're not going to be like obviously fully compatible with like the vast majority of people. So yeah, you can't really just expect to sometimes. And some people are very charismatic. There's a difference between being charismatic and having genuine things that are on the same level as each other, and I've literally had to learn that the hard way as well. Like, you can get on with someone really well and be able to spend lots of time with them, but it doesn't mean your morals align, and it doesn't mean you respect each other actually enough to be in a functional, solid relationship for any length of time. I think there's one thing having sexual compatibility, which I think you learn quite early on, that isn't the be all and end all, but it also comes with verbal chemistry. It's not everything. Yeah, not at all. So there's that one. Let me think if there's anything else. You've got to also keep an eye on physical attraction. I think sometimes you can lose physical attraction for someone, and basically it kind of sucks, because I think not everyone's going to always feel really attracted to someone all the time. Like, if a girl's on their period, or if a bloke's like, I don't know, doing something to make them seem unattractive. Everyone's got their flaws, but if you find yourself losing physical attraction for someone, you might just come to see sides of their personality that you're just not attracted to. And if you don't respond to that, usually you will, but if you don't respond to it, it can just get into a either misleading environment, or it can be unhealthy, or it can be unhealthy for them and it can be unhealthy for you. So another red flag. Also, intentions. I think other ones is whether they're trustworthy as a person. I think this is I would say universal for like most people, like whether someone's trustworthy. Because if someone's not trustworthy, you can't build anything with them. If you like, and I'm being real, and I think most people would feel this way. Everyone has their own way of showing trust to another person, but you've got to just think, for the situation you want it from, you've got to just like, it's hard when, say if you go from like a friendship to a relationship, this is hard because you have to, that's a really hard transition, and sometimes they were fine as a friend at one point, and when you move it into a relationship it never works. But if you're looking in terms of relationship, I think this is why dating apps and things are good, because sometimes when you just meet someone off the bat for no reason, like, you don't always know what someone's like, and often they're very high charismatic levels, but they might not have the same alignment as you. But it's hard to say, like, you can never tell in certain situations what's going to turn out and develop over situations. So sometimes you just got to go for it to learn. I don't think there's any other ones I can think of off the top of my head, but yeah, I think I think, okay, another thing is like, I don't want to get into the realms of like people's specific issue, like narcissism or like just having unresolved issues, because that's something very different and specific to the individual. So these are like general relationship red flags. But yeah, just to sum up, knowing how available someone is in terms of their baggage and their emotional availability, compatibility in actual self and not just charisma, and what's another one? How they make you feel. If you have good verbal communication with them, sexual communication, not communication, like chemistry from a physical perspective, and like the level that you argue and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think I've gone through most of the things, but yeah, it's something that needs to be spoken about, and everyone goes through their own path. I'm not like, you have to know all this stuff. Like, I never like my channel to come across nagging. That's not the way that, like, we would watch a nag video, but it's like, yeah, these are the things that have occurred to me. Yes, so there we go. Thank you for listening. Bye.